Hey everyone. I am doing a live discussion because I thought it would be a lot of fun, honestly, to really get on and start talking about can you really control demons? What is the concept to kind of break this mindset that is going on, that is happening within the cult community, to kind of just give this perspective on both ends and really help seal that together. Before I really get into the discussion, though, I'm going to give a chance and see how we are doing as far as the live going. Let me see if I can see all messages are visible. Okay, let me see if I can see chat. Okay. Once you guys are on, let me know. Try to shoot a chat. I'm gonna see if this is working. Welcome to live chat. Press learn more. Hi. Oh, there we go. It's working. Awesome. Hi, Blade of Astaroth. Hi, Marie. Hi, Tio. How is everyone doing tonight? Or morning. I guess it just depends where the hell you live. Hi, Jonathan. What's up? So thank you everyone for joining me tonight. So demons, can you control them? This is such a controversial subject because people really misconstrue what it means. So, when we talk about keys of Solomon and all of that, now, I'm not saying he didn't have any genuine connection with any spirit, but what actually happened in a lot of cases, like where he helped the spirits build his temple, or you have other people that are like, oh, all this magic, all this came through because my control exercised over demons. The thing is they aren't actual demons. Now, they can turn onto that term of a demon. Demon is very much so loosely used that it can be really applied to a variety of energies. And you can even use the names like Lucifer, Belphegor, or Beelzebub and attached it to these energies that are not demons, but a created form from your mind. Therefore, it is your projection, it is your vision of the spirit, and you create it, which is fine. It's fine to create it. It's even fine to call it a demon and doing that. It's just recognizing that's your power, that's your realm. It's not an actual spirit you're controlling. It's not something that is premortal that you're controlling, but something that you've created. So, yes, it is true, but it's also not true. Because when it comes to premortal ancient deities or actual spirits that have a sense of self outside of you, you cannot control. And it's like you trying to control another human being that is like not your child or something, right? Someone's on the street and you're like trying to tell them what to do and see how that goes, right? Like sometimes there can be certain situations such as work and all that, but for the most part, we tend to exercise our own will. And when it comes to spirits and all that, they don't even abide by to our laws or our rules whatsoever. So they're not going to have any belief or anything that subjugates us or like subjugates them, I mean, to being under our control. And that is probably why they don't reveal their true names, because knowing a spirit's true name, and that's why we can call these thought forms their names, because those names aren't really their names. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm gonna check the comments real quick and see where we're at. Do 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 do. Okay. Haha, love the topic headline. Yay, glad you do. Internal gratitude, Tila. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it. So, yeah, back to the subject then. So, when you're projecting, right, and you are creating a energy, a thought form, a gregor, whatever the hell you want to call it, I don't know. I don't think it really matters. That is something that is of your will, and anything that's of your will, people don't realize how powerful they are and how amazing they are. And that's why it's okay, like I was saying, it's okay to use the demonic names because that's not the real names. Is knowing that that's your connection. So like let's say you connect with um this spirit to make certain pacts to be more successful, even though that spirit may not even be agreeing to a deal with you, you've created something to make that deal, therefore to manifest. That is something that also happens. So sometimes it's not even intentional creation of our own mind that we actually believe we're making a genuine connection, but nonetheless, we still can get results because we are very powerful ourselves. We are part of the divine. We are part of that connection. We are part of that lineage that demons, angels, gods, and goddesses are also part of. So definitely don't underestimate yourself and what you can create. Now, as far as trying to call upon a real spirit to control, hell, you will pay. I've had people that have said they tried to do the keys of Solomon and they went crazy because they actually connected with the real spirit, not a thought form, because they believed it was such a real spirit and they wanted that connection so bad. It drew the spirit out, but then they try to control that spirit. And then that spirit's like, well, fuck you kind of mentality. It's not going to happen. They're not going to let someone on Earth in a different dimension, a lower dimension than them, control them, right? So just kind of understand what their nature is, what their type of things, and understand what you're working with, and kind of dividing in between that. So like that's why I wanted to make a video about this and a discussion topic. Can you control demons? So yes and no. It's depending what that demon means to you, because I don't like calling. The only reason why I use the term demon is for videos or for like purposes of like my services or something to kind of clarify. I just refer them to as spirits. I'm more interested in genuine connection than trying to manifest spirits or create spirit forms. I don't know. It's just my style. I prefer to have just that bond, right? I'm more of a person that's devoted. I don't really care what comes. Life is life. I'm here for the experience, and I just enjoy evolving with the spirits as they take me on. So that's just kind of my how I go about it. But yes, you definitely can do candles. You can do black magic, and that's another thing. Actually, let me check comments before I jump into that. Let's see the chat. What spirit causes a haunting? Usually spirits are poltergeists, or a spirit that just wants your attention. Sometimes hauntings actually come from a spirit that just really wants to talk to you. Uh, because a lot of people don't realize hauntings take a lot of energy, like to move an object, to make your sound. That is really a spirit screaming for your attention. So sometimes just giving the spirit the attention, time, maybe even get an altar for it, try to connect and speak with it, will actually take away the haunting experience. However, there are poltergeists that don't give a rat's ass if you give attention. It just wants to feed on your fear and kind of create bad juju in your home. So it just depends. It's kind of figuring out which is which. But you usually can tell because like a poltergeist is pretty nasty and they have very nasty energy. Now, Jonathan, that makes total sense. And pronunciation and it, yeah, it depends what you're doing. I don't pronounce a lot of spirits' names right, but I don't do evocations. I don't like evocations. I don't get it. I've never understood the purpose of evocation really. Like I've done them before, but it's not my style. I just want to feel the spirit inside me. And when I channel, it's visual. It's a mind's eye, it's a psychic, it's an astral experience. And then I kind of have candles and incense just to add to the environment, to kind of put me into the mindset. So, and then to have offerings, of course, but it's more about that talking back and forth. But yeah, I've gone so many things I've pronounced incorrectly. And it's fine. Like I said, it's not even because it's not even the real name. So I don't trip about it myself, but some people are really big on that. And again, that's your style, how you're going about it. Because if you're into like ceremonial magic or if you're a black magician, you might want to follow a certain specific path that's laid out. Versus me, I just kind of do whatever and however I want to connect. So I'm coming more from a psychic medium perspective, not as a black magician. Like I'm not. I don't do ceremonial magic. I don't do any of that. I do practice witchcraft, but I do my spell work in a different way, in form of creation. When I create jewelry, I'm doing spell work there. When I'm about to create my oils that I'm doing right now, that is my spell work. That's me tapping into my magic and adding my intent, versus trying to create a giant circle and do an evocation. It's just not my style, especially when I can just talk to the spirits without doing that. It just seems a lot of extra work to do something I can already do. But that's just me. That's where my head is at. That doesn't mean how you do is wrong or how I do it is right. It's just what works for you, you know? But anyways, now back onto the spirit regarding curses. So now demons don't get involved in curses unless, like, for a demon to agree to a curse, an actual demonic real spirit, because again, they don't have the same emotions as we do, right? They're not going to be involved in our politics. They don't give a shit if you're Democrat or Republican, right? They don't care about your petty drama or that your heart was broken, and maybe they'll be supportive and caring for you as a person, but they're not going to go out and just like destroy people. However, the spirits you create around you will. So this goes into the thing, will a demon curse someone or not? Well, the spirits you create out of your mind, out of your power, will, because it's your willpower. It's attached to your emotions. And those spirits that you form, those spirit forms, we're just gonna call them that for now, can do that. So you can do that. Now, and there are some cases where an actual spirit will agree to a curse if someone's bad enough that they've done you so dirty, like it's abusive, or they did something disgusting to a child. Like there's a line that's been crossed to a point that is enough for them to invest and convince them. So it's almost like going to a courthouse and you're trying to convince this person's guilty to the spirit to do it. So it's actually really hard to get a spirit to involved into a curse, especially when it's lower level energy and they are higher. They're above kind of that mentality, if that makes sense. But yes, you can technically do apply to both, but more likely it's going to be out of your spirit thoughts, which is okay, guys. It's okay to have thought forms or gregors, or have, you can do both. You can have genuine connection and you can have your thought forms. And thought forms are very beneficial because, like, I have a few, um, the chaos magicians call it different, and they're like little pets pretty much, but there's energies you infuse into things and they can protect your home. They can attract prosperity to you. Like they can be constantly doing your spell work for you on a daily basis. Like it's awesome. It's a great source of way of doing it, and eventually I'll probably do a tour of my apartment on YouTube. Eventually, I'm sure I will. Sorry, cough. But anyways, there's like I've connected certain energies to certain masks, to certain pieces into my home, so therefore it acts out. So everything in my home I try to set intention to for the most part. Like my couch, of course, there's no magical intent to it. But then again, we can't argue that it is magical how comfortable it is. And that's the funny thing about magic. You can almost make anything magical if you really want to. I remember talking to a friend, and he used to bless his cigarettes before he smoked them, right? So his smoking his cigarette and his pack and all of that every single time was a magical experience. So like you can get as creative as you want and do whatever, you know. There's no one limiting you, I promise. Now let's check the comments. Communication is key. Yes, yes. Wow, caught your live. Awesome. Glad you're here, Amelia. We got a place here that is super evil. I even got a picture of a ghost of it off of Google Earth that I was not expecting. Offerings and returns, honoring and respect. Yes, definitely honor, definitely respect. Servitor. Yep, that's the word I'm working for. Thank you very much. I'm really bad. Like, I've researched so much material and I forget so much shit. I don't know how people remember everything. I'm just like, I can't. I don't know how you do it. Cell 9 Black Tourmaline has helped me a lot. That's awesome. So yeah, so with a, if you have a really bad haunting and you do feel the energy is just really nasty, you can do a banishing. A banishing ritual, there's different ways to do it. You can call upon angels, you can call upon demonic energies, you can create servitors, you can just use your own energy, create protection shields and expand it out. You can do dragon's blood at your doorway, you can do a cleansing. There's so many different ways to remove a nasty energy. And again, the energy that might be attached there might not even be, because there's poltergeist and then there's something else. So I don't know if you guys have ever read The Witch's Book of the Dead. Highly recommend. It's regarding necromancy, but a true understanding of necromancy, not the whole edge lord. It's so dark and forbidden bullshit. Like actual working with your ancestors, working with the dead, what the real thing to kind of expect, and why people dress up, and kind of understand it on a deeper level. Like it's a great book. I love it. It's one of my favorite. Um, and that's by, I believe, Christian Grey is the author, and he talks about how sometimes there's trauma and bad energy that's been left, that the spirit has moved on, but because of how much bad energy and how much trauma took place into that home, it left a residue. So you might also have to just cleanse that residue that's left over from that trauma, and that could also cause a haunting. Now back to chat. I learned a lot from you. Thank you. Aw, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you guys learn. And I love when people reach out to me, like on Facebook or here on YouTube, just to kind of let me know how it affects them. Because I know I don't get on here as much as like the majority of YouTubers. I kind of just get on here when I can, honestly. because I don't know where people get their time of their day. I get so busy, and next thing I know, it's time to cook dinner and take care of the kids, and I'm just like, or hang out with my boyfriend or whatever, like I don't know. I don't know where people get time from. I don't seem to have it. And I think it's cool. I wish I did put more content out there. I try, guys. I really do try. I just get overwhelmed, and maybe it's part of my anxiety too that I experience is why I don't do as much as others. I don't know. I suck. I'm sorry. Okay, live chat. All right. Do I have to use a sigil and blood when I call a pound saint? We'll get into sigils here in a minute. Okay. And what causes lights to flicker? Sometimes we see shadow figures before or after it happens. We just laugh at it though. Okay. So, light flickers, it could be just your light going out, honestly. Sometimes that can be energy from a spirit, but that's actually not a common thing for spirits to cause. Most times that is going to be from it because that's an electricity reaction. So, it is possible that they send out that vibration that can cause it. But again, that's them exercising energy. Shadow people are awesome, but they can be a variety. There can be shadow people that used to be regular human spirits. There's shadow people that are your ancestors. There's shadow spirits that can be thought forms. Like shadow spirits is this whole entire spectrum of things, and there's so many myths and lore about shadow people. It's really cool. Shadow people are also the easiest thing for people to see spirits. They are one of the easiest forms of manifestation. So even if you haven't really developed psychically, you're more likely to see a shadow person before a full manifestation of a spirit, and that is very common because they are literally merging between the physical and the thing. So we got our world. We got a plane that's kind of right touching us. So that's where we're usually going to see spirit manifestations, shadow manifestation. And then we got the other side, meaning the astral realm, where people are crossing over to, where people are traveling, the underworld, all these kind of myths and lore comes into the actual other side, which actually sits outside our universe, technically, versus this plane between, where we usually see spirits, is still within our universe. It's kind of weird to explain. But anyways, we go back into that, and that's why shadows usually are, because a lot of regular spirits cross over to the other side. So that's why usually shadow people are also easier to manifest because they have more connection to our physical plane. They have more power to hold on to here. And back to comments. I use a holy light and it burns whatever I point at it. Yeah, you can use however, whatever works for you guys. I worked in a building with a powerful ghost and become interested in how they just keep existing. Hi, Tila, nice hat. Thank you. Shadow people is an umbrella term for many different energies. Yes, yes. Hollow, very true. Okay. So maybe before I get to the comment regarding um, why certain ghosts do remain here versus just crossing over or going to their next phase, we are going to talk about sigils and Satan. So sigils can be very useful when you're still working kind of beginner level. I'm not the craziest person about sigil. So sigil, like let's say I believe this sigil for Satan is like a ZD symbol. So I go in and I feel that energy, and I go in and I create it, and then I turn it into a portal and I send it out. That portal, technically, even though my intent is for Satan, it can actually open to any spirit to come forth towards me. So that's kind of my issue with sigils. They're very tainted. The energies are all over the place. Now, they can be useful if you can focus and you have a very disciplined mind to make sure that the spirit you want to connect with actually comes through to you through to that portal. And that's what sigils really are. They're portals. Now, yes, you can draw the sigil out and you can visualize in your mind's eye. I think it's better to pull the energy out from it so you can have it both. So that way you are creating an actual effective portal. And then blood. I did a video on blood magic not too long ago. Make sure you bless your blood. Make sure that when it comes out, that blood in itself is now a form of magic. It's not just you cutting your finger and dabbing blood all over. Like, make it an actual practice. Make sure there's intent and soul behind it. Therefore, it's just going to become dead blood and your energy disconnects like that from it. So you got to keep it infused. But yes, blood is a great offering for the majority of spirits. Some spirits do not like blood, but for the most they do. Like Belial likes it, Lilith likes it, Satan likes it, Lucifer likes it, Hecate likes it, the Morgan likes it, Anubis even. You know, like a lot of spirits, Kali is a big, she loves blood. But then again, people used to sacrifice animals to Kali, which is a very interesting thing because like in a lot of that tradition, they're like vegetarians. But for Kali, they'd be sacrificing shit. So that's cool. I don't know if they still do or not though, but that was part of the practice. And I didn't believe that at first until I Googled it. Someone told me that. I was like, I don't know. That sounds weird. They're a bunch of vegetarians. And it turns out it's true. Yeah, you guys can Google it too. It's mind blowing. Or maybe that's just mind blowing for me. But yeah, a lot of spirits do like it. It doesn't matter what type of spirit. So blood's a great thing. Once you learn to channel though, and once you don't need to use sigils, it's a very effective method just to channel and communicate with them. I am a big believer in psychic development. There's a lot of things you guys can do for psychic development: cloud gazing, stargazing. Believe it or not, you're trying to make the fluid in your mind. Scrying. And don't worry about like doing a ritual or anything to scry. Just scry. Try to do crystal gazing. Do tarot readings every day. Do something like tap into your inner senses. Do chants that activate it. For your hearing, visualize energy through your fingertips, shooting into the back of your ears, and then microphones growing out. Dream work, going to bed, saying, okay, I'm going to have a vision, and things like that. So, really learn to empower yourself. Self affirmations are also a really good thing. Wake up and say, I am empowered. I am psychic. I can see into the future. I can hear spirits. I can see spirits. I can tap into past lives, things like that. And then just like, however you want to, it's fine. But just try to do daily exercises because out of everything, I truly believe if you want the best results and the best connections and get where you want to go, I truly believe it's awakening your psychic senses and tapping into that more than anything. But that's just my opinion because that's what's worked really well for me. So that might be why. Okay. Okay. All right. So then the next one I was going to talk about why spirits keep existing. So there are it's good that spirits still exist. That's actually a very strong thing that they didn't like die. A lot of people when they die. Unless you're in Mexico. Reason why in Mexico they tend to live longer is because they do ancestral work over there. They honor their spirits. That's why they call it the three deaths in Mexico. When you first learn about death, when you die, and your actual death once you are forgotten because you no longer have anybody sending you energy, connecting you, remembering you, right? So people that don't have ancestral altars or like in America where a lot of that's not actually happening, a lot of spirits just merge with the collective. Okay, so we got you can merge into the collective. You can get lost into the void, which sucks. You can choose, you have such a self sense of individuality, but you don't know how to move through the astral planes yet, that you just kind of are stuck in between this plane of the other side and here. You may reincarnate. So there's like a lot that happens, and I definitely don't have probably any of the true answers, like because I'm alive and I can only tell you what I've seen, what I've experienced, why I'm alive. Meaning, I probably really don't know like much at all, which is fine. But there's a lot that can take place. And there's so much when I astral travel into the underworld, there are so many planes of existence over there. It's insane. It's like bigger than our world. Like when we talk about Europe or traveling to another country, it ain't nothing when it comes to the realms of the astral. Like there's literally like how we have like movies with like different planets and all that, and they all different lives, all different communities there. It's kind of like that. Like it's huge, it's gigantic. So there's a lot that happens. There's also spirits that have transitioned from the other side, but come visit their loved ones. They come over here because you can go back and forth. From the astral realm to this side. So there are many reasons why they can. And that's just open. That's an open question really because there are like it's just who is it? Who's the one that's dead? Who are we speaking about? Because we would have to know about that specific spirit to know what their reasons are. It's not like a one answer for all type of ordeal. I am working on my communication with the dead. That's one thing I am working on because I've successfully connected with spirits, right? The more like angels, demons, gods, and goddesses. And I have made a connection with dead spirits, like, but only to a certain extent. So that's my next thing is to get like where I can just sit there and say, hey, your grandma came through. This is her name. This is her age. This is her message for you. You know what I mean? Without my bone kit, you know? So that's my goal. And that's the thing about this path. You're constantly evolving, you're constantly transcending, you're constantly working. So it just kind of is a never ending cycle. But yeah, maybe I'll have more answers once I can just ask the dead. And then again, that's their perception, their experience. So, oh, enjoy work. Does Azazel like blood? Any other offerings he likes? Azazel likes blood, arcs. I got Nikolai got me a piece of painting there, and he loves it. I love it. Um, Azazel likes alcohol. You can offer tobacco. You can offer whatever the hell you guys want. It's really, you really don't have to overthink. I feel like people overthink things. A lot of it's like your energy and intent that comes to it because that's how they're going to absorb a lot of your offerings is through energy. Like they're not going to sit there and eat your steak like we eat steak. It's about the energy and the intent behind it. Okay, trickster spirit. Good question. Okay. The real Day of the Dead way better meaningful than Halloween. Okay. Yeah, no, I want to go to Mexico during the Day of the Dead. I think that's so cool. I love it. So, trickster, 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 trickster. Oh, you got trickster spirits are good. And I've been fooled by a couple of tricksters. So, it is a tricky thing. That's why they're tricksters. Uh, I thought that was funny. Probably just me. But so, how to tell? One is make sure they're not speaking onto your ego. So, a trickster spirits love to feel egos. They like to tell people, "Oh, you're chosen one. Oh, I think you're a demon yourself. Oh, you were like this great king. Oh, you're so special. You're this and that." They really love to feed egos. Also, they will make sure that everything you believe they confirm that to you, meaning everything that's within your paradigm, within your mindset that exists, they are going to validate that. They will never question you. You will somehow magically have all the knowledge and already have all the answers. And they're just like, yeah, 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 yeah. Like I said, they are really big into feeding ego. The reason why is one, they actually think it's funny because they're like, well, this moron thinks they're this freaking demonic king that can rule over this demonic army and really actually believes that, and now they are taking that energy and feeding off you. You have now made yourself astral food. So a lot of ways to keep a trickster spirit away is go through an ego death. Make sure you are detached and able to commune and eliminate that ego. And then your ego is going to return, but to kind of be able to keep it down, like to keep it in control. And also question, like if they're not giving you any brand new information, like hell, you need new information. You need to be able to go on Google and fact check that spirit, right? You need to be able them to tell you something you didn't know and then you research it. That's a big thing to know that's a genuine spirit. Um, Another way to tell if it is a trickster spirit is actually connect with a genuine spirit that you've connected with before that you have tested and ask them if it's a trickster spirit. You can also do a tarot reading on it. Tarot cards are really good. You can just draw a card and then Google if it's a yes or no card if you don't know tarot that well, you know? There's a lot of things you can do to tell if it's a trickster. Tricksters also come in when you practice sex magic. They love sex magic. And the reason why, now sex magic is very powerful if you know what you're doing. If you can stay focused, if you can keep your intention, and you know how to make sure that nothing's coming in that you don't want in. But trickster spirits flood to sex magic practitioners because they are releasing insane amount of energy and it's usually just chaotic. and they go in for it. So when you're doing sex magic, people tend to get a lot of trickster spirits around them at that point of time, and some of the trickster spirits stick around because they're just going to continue to feed on you, and they just think it's a joke. Like, they just don't really care. And you're not going to build a real relationship. So it's just really testing it, knowing what you're doing, and experience. Like, honestly, like I said, I've been tricked. And I've been tricked a couple times. It has happened, and it's probably going to happen to you and everyone else until you kind of learn to recognize it. And that kind of just comes with experience, honestly. And yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Like, if you do feel like your energy is getting fed on, just cut the ties, banish, do what you need to do to make sure you're taking care of yourself, and you'll be good. It's not like the biggest deal if you are into trickster spirit, honestly. Late again. Hey y'all. Oh, hey. You're right. Too easy to overthink. Yes, yes. Have you heard of the spirit called Astral? Astral, yes. Like, all right, guys. We are 30 minutes in already. Wow. Oh, that's so cool. What can I do on here? Share, save, highlight. I just want to see what my options are on live. I don't think there is anything. You know, like on Facebook, you can do like funny faces. I don't think you can do that on YouTube. That's lame. Okay. Not sure if you could answer this all in an obscure question, but here it is. No, 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 it's a spirit. Oh, you stupid YouTube. Don't do that to me. Okay. If in the future consciousness is able to be stored or created in computers, would this change anything for that entity? So it won't change anything for gods or spirits or any spirit that's already dead. Their consciousness is not going to be shifted to a computer. Hell, they would never allow that. I would not allow that for my own consciousness. You guys, by doing that, you are limiting yourself and ruining the self identity. It's like, it's such a bad idea. Now, thankfully, I don't think it's ever going to happen. We don't even, scientists even don't even know what consciousness really is. They don't have a way to observe it. It has been purely speculation. It mostly comes from TV shows and movies and things like that. But the reality, and I've actually researched this, the reality, if they could download your consciousness, it'd be like a computer, right? You'd actually lose your self identity. So you will not be truly immortal. You will now just be a program. You literally become a slave to what they download you as. It's not like the shows or the movies, how they make it where you can just be like forever alive and change your bodysuit or things like that. No, you're like a robot and you don't even know. Like, it's just bad. And even if they could make it where it kept your self sense of I, you'll never be able to experience the astral realms because you're now stuck into this computer program. Like, it's really limiting. But yeah, they would not be able to get gods or anything like that in there. And I don't think that's going to happen, at least not within my lifetime. And I would not condone it. A copy of you, a poor copy. Yep, would be indeed. Keen, kind of seems like what society is going through now, though. Society is. Oh, so I have not commented on anything that's going on except on Facebook, and I keep pissing people off. I'm not gonna lie. So there's a lot. I truly see, I pay attention, and I don't pay attention to the news because the news is bought out by corporations, right? It's bought out dominantly right now by the Democrats. Not saying the Democrats are more corrupt than Republicans. I think they are equally corrupt. I don't like any politician. I don't care for any president. I don't care for the divide and conquer method that is still being clearly implemented as of right now. But I do look at numbers. I do look and do my research and I investigate things. And I see a lot of political agenda going on right now. Not going to get into like saying the coronavirus or anything, or is a, I can't even think right now, is a conspiracy because I know people that have gotten it. Now, do I trust the numbers that they're releasing? Absolutely not. The way they are handling the situation, I think, is poorly done. The economy is literally collapsing. So I investigated, really investigate, right? And if we continue with a economic shutdown, we would literally slow down agriculture production, which would result in delays in routes, which actually could cause a giant effect of people starving to death. We're talking about in the millions. That's just one thing that can happen. With pharmacies, with the medical thing, that's the same thing that can happen as well, getting people's medicine out. We're again talking about thousands, if not millions, of people dying as a result of a shutdown. We're talking about people losing jobs, people losing their health insurance, because most people that get employment are have health insurance through their company. You know what I mean? And a lot of them still won't qualify for Medicaid. Medicaid is not as easy to get on as people think it is. Um, so that's another giant problem is people losing that. People that have diabetes, people that have real health concerns are now going to have faced this issue. Again, I'm not downsizing the fact that Corona doesn't suck, because Corona clearly is kind of shitty, but so is the regular flu, so is what I went through. I think the way we've handled the situation is poorly done, and we are putting so many more people's lives at risk legitimately. Like, if you do look into it, it's pretty bad, and the consequences are very much so deathly. But it's whatever. It's voting season. That's all I can say about that. And that also is, oh, I'm gonna read the comments here. Greetings, everyone. Hi, William. I'm lighting my altar dedicated to King Paimon right now, so I'll be mentioning the great discussion as I know he loves you, Tila. Oh, thank you. And yeah, send my energies and love to King Paimon. He is definitely one of my favorite spirits to work with. He's just so chill. Him and Lucifer, like those two are like my chill, like if I was a stoner, but I'm not, because I don't like pot. It makes me freak out, like paranoid. But if I was, those would be my stoner buddies. I swear to God, Lucifer and Paimon, super chill. Other spirits, not so much. Love them though, nonetheless. All right, and any more questions, guys? Nice channel, lol. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I try. I try to try the best I can. I feel like I could do more, but it's okay. It's all right. It's no big deal. Diamond, not so much, lol. Not for you. Uh, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Thank you, everyone, for joining this discussion. Hopefully, it was a really positive learning experience. I think I dropped a shit ton of information down. And I should definitely do more of these, because I think I get more out when we go back and forth, when you guys address questions to me. And I just like talking and talking about the spirits. Like, I'm obsessed. I know a lot of, like, I remember I went out and this person was like an occultist, like, yeah, I don't really like talking about the cult because I talk about it out loud. And I'm over here like, I'm obsessed. Like, can we discuss the spirits? Like, this is my life. There's nothing else. But yeah, anyways, thank you, everyone. And infernal blessings. Bye. Now, how do I end this thing?